Hi, I'm here in Mascot to talk today a little bit about building defects because I'm here right in front of Mascot Towers, which is a notorious building. You've probably seen it on the news because 2, 3, 4 years ago everybody had to be suddenly evacuated because of severe cracking in the basement, and ever since then the building has been uninhabitable. And this tragedy of this story is that many of the residents have been forced into bankruptcy as a result, and there are people who wanted even to start families but were basically unable to because of financial problems and not having a decent home to live in. It is not just limited to this building, of course. You've also heard about the Opal Building in Homebush, which has also been evacuated. There are many other buildings in Canterbury and northwest Sydney, and in the seat of Sydney where I'm standing there are many apartment buildings, of course, and many of those have serious defects. So for example, in Erskineville there's the Honeycomb and Sugar Cube building. It was built on toxic soil that needed to be remediated properly, but guess what? The developer didn't remediate it properly. They just went straight ahead and built it. So the terraces in that building are still, they've been built for a couple of years and are still not occupied. In near neighbouring Alexandria there's the Joshua building, which didn't stand up to the fire safety code, and that one was almost going to be demolished. You've got Garland Lofts building in Zetland, which had to be evacuated. It was due to fire safety concerns. You've got Bunn Street in Piermont. That one has fire safety issues. And you've also got Bowman Street in Piermont, which had combustible cladding, and the residents again were evacuated out of that building, and that cost $7 million to repair. And a lot of this became famous because of the dreadful Grenfell public housing tower tragedy in the UK, where many people so tragically lost their lives. I mean, how is it that we allow combustible cladding to be imported into Australia? This is something that the federal government could take action on. Just make it illegal to import combustible cladding. And we need a strong national construction code, or what used to be called the Building Code of Australia, to mandate building standards. The building standards in Australia are in a shocking state. One estimate is that is going to cost us $6.2 billion nationally to repair building defects. And in New South Wales, 85% of apartment buildings built since the year 2000 have serious defects, and the cost of reparation of those defects adds another 27% onto the actual cost of the original homes. This is a factor also in housing affordability. So it's not just a state issue. The 6.2 billion is a national figure, so we need stronger regulation to bring this under control. How did we get into such a state? Well, the answer is quite simple. It's that we have a system that puts profit before people. Okay, the power of the big developers is what is running the whole building construction industry. We have privatised so many of the functions, private certifiers and so on, which came in New South Wales under the previous Labor government, and is still continuing under the current government, even though we've had a parliamentary inquiry which really just only tinkered around the edges of flammable combustible cladding. So we need big, bold, radical solutions. We need a system that is based on putting people before profit, and you can do that by voting for Socialist Alliance. I'm standing in the seat of Sydney, or if you're not in Sydney, you can vote for Socialist Alliance in the Senate. And so I ask you to like this video, share it amongst your friends, subscribe to the channel, and get involved in the campaign. We need better building standards in Australia.
Authorised by P. Boyle for Socialist Alliance, Ultimo, New South Wales.